piss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Testicles, 1, 2, testicles. Welcome back to Paranoid Radio Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Trebles Garcia, and I want to thank the Lord for allowing me to be here today, and I want to thank every single one of you for allowing me to enter your space. Ladies and gentlemen, Paranoid Radio Podcast, for all those new listeners that are here today, brings forth a lot of content 2 times a week, and you could find us absolutely free on all podcast platforms. So you could also check us out at paranoidradio.com, paranoidradio.com, streaming for free on audio, and you could watch the last 2 recent episodes, unedited, unbothered, and unfiltered. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an amazing episode lined up for all of you guys here tonight. But before all of that, I want to give an amazing birthday shout out to Juan Flan. He's an amazing friend, amazing colleague, and I love you, big dog. I pray for your mental health, for your family, for your son, and for your wealth to hit your pocket, stay in your pocket, and not flee anywhere, and to give you another 100 years of amazingness near us, near everybody else, so that we could keep filling up our cups with your knowledge. Thank you so much for being a friend. Happy fucking birthday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to jump in from the deep end of the pool and set the fucking mood. Woo! And I quote, "There must be religion. Otherwise, the poor would murder the rich." End quote. Napoleon. Seems like we are prime for the picking. The writing is on the wall, literally. In our last encounter with this harsh reality, we were introduced to fast-paced ritual attacks on the soul of a young woman. We opened the door, 33 degrees opened, and intentionally completely obliterated the hinges off the entire entrance of the Mormon cult. Today, we will focus on Masonic symbols, architecture connections to darkness, racism in the church, and the true story of the twisted mental torture being practiced and initiated behind Mormon temple walls. And to do so, I flipped my hidden trap card and summoned the majestic, the ruthless, the passionate, exposing light warrior, creative director and host of her own podcast show, rising star, Heidi Love from the Unfiltered Rise podcast. Welcome, Heidi.
Wow, that was an intro and a half. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I try. We got to get you on. We're extremely lucky to have you on and watch your growth. And you are fucking on fire.
It's been weird. I don't know. It's just been.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you mentally ready? Physically ready for what's coming up?
I'm trying to be. I hope so.
You
God's
are.
got me.
You are.
Yeah, God's got me. I think I can do it. Right.
You're on the path to greatness, and I want to thank you again for allowing, for being on our show, for bringing this forth to our listeners. This is part 2 of Mormon, and hopefully they're going to have so many more hours of content for all the creators, for all the listeners. However, ladies and gentlemen, if this is not enough for you, you want to get a second dose, a third dose, or 100 other doses of greatness from Heidi Love, make sure you check us out. Check her out, and make sure you check her out. At paranoidradio.com, which her link is up now, and this episode will be there also. Or you could find her at Unfiltered Rise _podcast on Instagram. Anywhere else, Heidi? Am I missing anything?
We're on all the podcast places where they should be. They can find us all over, and on YouTube as well.
She's on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. On YouTube, make sure you go check her out. Show some support. Yeah. Before she gets kicked out, I pray to God that she doesn't, because she's exposing the truth. And I cannot wait to get the message, the DM on Instagram that tells me, yo, I made it into tinfoil hat. Yo, I got this next lit. Like, oh, you already got huge. And
if I make that, I'll be scared.
You got authors coming up. You got big people making big moves, and you deserve the greatness. And I'm just here to catch a little radiation of that that well-being and your wisdom. So let's get into the topic.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Should I pull this up?
Yeah, pull it up. So she's gonna jump right in it, right where we left off. I'm gonna give them a little refresher. We left off where she was walking into the temple, and that we're doing some necromancer stuff. So we're talking about the temple and talking about the churches. They do have some Masonic symbols. As a matter of fact, I'm talking about the stars, about the eyes. So go ahead, Heidi, take it over.
The masonry that is exhibited here is insane. At the Mormon temple level, everything is almost Freemasonic, and everything has to do with astrology, just like Freemasons. So this is a sunstone that's on the temple, actual temple building. This is a handshake and the hand clasp of the Freemasons, which is actually on the outside. This is all on the outside of the temple. So you can view this, including
the hypocrisy that they put.
eye.
The hypocrisy that they put. I am the Alpha and Omega, and then they put a Freemason symbol right under the
right
words.
under
what
it.
Blasphemous! Oh my God!
Because this right here, this Freemason symbol is actually the way. See how it's encircled by the sun? It's actually the way to get to the celestial kingdom. And so the sun is the symbol for the celestial kingdom, which is the top kingdom of heaven. See, Mormons don't ever do things. Mormons don't ever do things basically. So there's 3 levels of heaven. So this is the top level of heaven. And you have to know these signs and symbols. So anyone that's Mormon would know that to even get into heaven. You can't get to heaven if you don't know these.
You told me that there was windows and slots where they put you in a temple upon being initiated, that you have to stick your little hand in there and do some Masonic symbol, throw some gang signs.
Yes.
There they are.
Here's the gang signs. Yes.
Wow.
And these are actually the names of the Freemason symbols, but I will tell you they are exactly the same, although they have a couple more than the Mormons. So here it says real grip, top right corner. Real grip of the lion's paw, and we call that the true sign of the nail. See how it goes down onto his wrist, and it looks like it's pointing to the nail. So they just renamed him. That's what he did. He's very bright. Joseph Smith was not a fool, that's for sure. He knew exactly what he was doing.
Yo, can I be honest with you? Even part of the Illuminati and being parts of these secret societies, what I like to call societies with secrets, a lot of these people, to stay relevant, you need to recreate yourself. This is why many artists like the 21 click, the 27 club, the people that died at 27, they needed to recreate themselves, change their name, change their approach to music and the entertainment industry, so that they could stay relevant in the system, in the cultic religion, or relevant for us here, freaking consuming
and
spirits.
Religion was thrown out. Religion was thrown out at this time because all the people had come over from England and they were kind of sick of religion because they came here to have freedom from religion. So they had to make something new and better than the old because people weren't having it. They weren't about it, you know? So on top of the all-seeing eye, wait till you see this diagram. This is a layout inside the temple, inside the masonry of how it's set up to all the astrological signs. Interior is the moon phases on each of the months with the sun phases on each corner. This is so Masonic. Oops.
Can you go back to this? And okay, so you have June, July, August, February, January, and December, right? You have south now. You see the sides, east, west, south. For the people that are not watching this is the Salt Lake Temple. So you're gonna have to go on ParanorRadio.com and watch these images coming directly from Heidi, exposing the truth. And she's showing me.
And I had to dig deep to get these. This is from a really old book from an old bookstore that are out of print.
And you got it from, and you got these books that are out of print. You got it at the Mormon library.
No, it was at a regular bookstore, but since I live in Utah, people sell their books. I went booking last week and went crazy, and I found I can't even explain. These books are out of print now. They don't want us to know these things. So
I cannot believe this. So now this would be higher knowledge. So what is it depicting here? Because I see that there's different planets and the moon phases.
It's the phases of the moon. And here's what's interesting, because they specifically said that they modeled it after the sacrifices for Israelites that entertained to them and offered up to Jehovah on certain moon phases of the new moon. So they would sacrifice and blow the trumpet. Now, you've made a lot of art for me. Does that sound familiar? Blow the trumpet when these certain sacrifices are done. So
reading the stars.
Yes. And
so
on every temple. On top of it, I didn't put his, maybe it's in here. I didn't put his Freemason occult apron on here, but it's all over the internet. You can Google it, and it is completely astrological. It was the ones my great grandma said these aprons suck. We used to have prettier ones. Now they're these fig leaves. It used to be the moon and the stars and the pillars. Actually, I believe it might be on the Freemason.
So when your grandma was around and she was being initiated, her underwear wasn't the Masonic, it was moons and stuff like on her body
On
part?
her apron. So we get an apron from Lucifer when we go into the temple, which is awesome,
Wait,
right?
What the
Because
fuck?
we should.
Why?
I wish. I know. I know. Okay, so I'm going to bring it up. See these aprons they're wearing? They're green and they represent fig leaves. Okay. And so when we're in the temple, there's a specific part in the temple where he says Lucifer comes and Adam's praying and he's alone and sad in the world because he got thrown out of the garden. And he's like, you know what you should do? He hadn't been thrown out yet. No, right before he was praying because he felt bad because they ate that.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And he felt bad. Yeah.
Mhm.
And so he's sitting there crying, like praying to God to come. And Lucifer, and he's praying to God, but who answers? Lucifer. Why does Lucifer answer us in the temple as God? That's concerning, number one. Number two, he says, yo, bro, you got to get some fig leaves on because you're kind of naked. See, God's going to know you ate the apple because you're naked and he's going to know you're naked. Kind of.
And you grow like pubes. That. Yeah.
Yeah, no shit. So he's like, hey, put this apron on of fig leaves. And then what do? We all stand. He says, now all the participants will stand and please put on your apron. And so
you're naked at this point.
No.
Okay.
No. This is, we're in these.
I was like, holy fuck.
You're getting it all together. No, all these robes, see, we're in these robes, but we don't have the apron on yet. So then we stand and put the apron on. And it's representative that we're taking something from Lucifer. So why are we doing that? That doesn't make any sense if we're
at any given point, you are making a truce with this guy at the end of the day and continue to just worship him, if anything.
Yeah. Wow. Well, and he's the God of this world because who answered the prayer? Lucifer did. That's concerning too. You know, all these things that I learned later. But my grandma was really upset about these aprons because she was actually, they did used to scrub them naked. When my great grandma went through, they used to scrub them. But of course, the church doesn't want to go into that. Now they just anoint you and you get that poncho thing that I talked about where I was naked and they go through the side and they barely touch anywhere. And even then they changed that to your forehead only. And now you have clothes on because everybody, they were going to sue them, I think, you know, as they should. It was freaking weird. I was damaged for life for that. Like, wow. Yeah, it wasn't good. Nothing.
You know, they still practice that anointment. And it's funny that I was raised anointing. Sorry, my freaking English is retarded. No. I went in. I came up in a Protestant church as a kid, and they still anoint you. Am I saying it right? They still do it in order to anointment.
Anoint for you, but in the temple they call it the anointment because Mormons have to one up everything. Don't you know that by now?
Yeah, there's
three heavens.
Yeah,
three heavens.
Them Freemasons. The three heavens.
Yeah.
So what they do?
Gang signs. All
that's right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. So what they do was they in order for you to be touched with the Holy Spirit, they start singing and melodizing, and then they come and they anoint you in the forehead. And then boom, you fall down, you're talking tongues. So it's a whole different level type of thing, right? Yeah, the whole situation. we can't do that. We can't do that. That's considered like bad in ours. Do you guys believe in anything? Did the Mormons believe it? Do they believe anything with like speaking in tongues? Is that even a thing?
I don't think so. I don't think they do because they are very structured. If you ever go to a Mormon church, you'll be like, oh my gosh, nobody's talking. Like only the guy that's up there talking is talking and you're quiet and you're sitting and you're just bowing your head. It doesn't bring very much joy. Yeah, for hours. This is for hours. It used to be 3 hours, but now it's 2. And so thank heavens for that. I remember sitting through that and being like, please don't let my baby cry, or please don't let my kids be naughty, or, you know, that's all you really care about because, you know, they're all staring at you, you know?
Yeah. So, and I could only imagine how the critiquing goes. So what's next? What's next picture on the slide? Yes,
you got it. All right, let's bring some more. Heat. We got the cloud stones, which are also Masonic on the outside of the temple.
What is this? What does this represent?
So that is also a Freemason sign representative of the Freemasons and the celestial, once again, the gods up above, representing all that they worship. And so I thought it was interesting that they put that on the outside of the temple, and everything's strategically placed just because they are Masons. There's cornerstones, there's way more than I could send you because we do these fast. So there's all kinds of Freemasonry, including even the little on the temple itself right here where I go back. See the pillars? They even represent the Godhead and all the men underneath. See how they're like, and if you notice, their windows are super phallic looking. See that?
And these temples look they look like cathedrals. I'm telling you, the architecture here is on point, and they know exactly what to do, and it instills the fear in you. And I could only imagine how the art is inside and the mystery of it.
Oh, and then this right here, I've kind of zoomed it in right here. That's a representative of the Big Dipper, which is on almost all the temples. Super into astronomy. Which what does it say in the Bible? Not to be like that, right? We're not supposed to be worshiping above. No, and we're not supposed to do these things. So I'm just like, that's so crazy to me. I don't know why they get away with what they do, but they do. And then I grabbed this one because this is your favorite. This is our friend Moroni. The white Indian that showed up. They're really focused on white, and we're gonna go there in a second.
Wait, there's white Indians? I never met a white Indian before. Like a white Native American? Like, is he?
I guess so. I guess that's what he described it as, an Indian, and it. I mean, nowadays it would be Native American, but he's like, oh, this is a white Indian. And so he showed up in my room, but nobody else heard him.
Is he an albino Native American?
Right? I think maybe. I think, you know where I think he got that from, to be honest? He jacks so much from the Bible that he didn't get from directly like receiving information from this angel. But anyway, I think he got it from the story of Noah, because you know how they said when he was born, he was superiorly white and they were scared that he was a fallen. And so I think maybe possibly he was trying to copy that. And so he likes to copy. Yeah, he likes to copy. If you put together the Bible, the Magus, which is a magical book of spells and secrets, and Freemasonry, I think you pretty much got Mormonism about that time. Like, it's all
aside together. With a little perversion, witchery, and Freemasons, you got yourself a huge.
We got to get into the perversion. Yes, we got to get in, because the perversion comes because
you know what that bumps that makes people's head bob. Like people tune into perversion shit. Give me one bomb. Like what the fuck?
Okay, all right.
Aside from the Freemason stuff.
Yeah, well, tell me this. Why in every religion that was scribed from an angel, which I believe he saw an angel, I really do. I think it was an angel of darkness. I think it was the same angel about John Dee and Scientology and Jack Parsons and all these other religions, including Muhammad saw Gabriel and all these people. And at the end of it all, on every single level, including Aleister Crowley, what were they required to do next? Do you know?
No.
Okay, they saw the angel comes. And the angel's like, listen, I'll give you this knowledge, right? But you're going to give me something too. And what do they require every single time?
Write a book.
Sex, magic, and then write it down. But first, you got to switch wives. John Dee switch wives. He ended up raising his scribe's son for the rest of his life. And the next one down, Crowley, we already know. Crowley went into all the things. Parsons, they were doing booty stuff out in the desert, you know, that I'm just saying. And then we go to Mormonism and to Allah with the Muhammad stuff, and they get into what? Polygamy. And they start taking everybody's wives. And let me tell you, polygamy now is not the same as back then. You can only marry a woman that's free to marry now. You can't just go marry somebody else's wife.
Word.
You only can have, you know, the wives like that are free. You don't marry other people's wives. But that's not what Joseph did.
Word.
He was like, hey, why don't you go on a mission and go be a door knocker, and I'm gonna marry your wife while you're gone.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
And nobody got a divorce because these were spiritual. And then people were like, oh, but they didn't have sex. And I'm like, well, then why was the girl that he adopted ended up pregnant? Why did that happen?
He adopted. Holy fuck.
There's your bomb. There's your bomb.com. He adopted a set of twins, and the boy died and the girl lived.
No,
and by
he killed the kid and then got the girl pregnant.
Well, and this is when they're little. They adopted him when they were born. So he raised this girl her whole life just to take her as a wife, which is disgusting.
She never spoke. Did she ever speak?
I don't know if she was down or what, but the wife wasn't down and she got thrown down the stairs. So that's what happened to that baby.
No, she was down, not enough to die. Shit, she fucking died pretty quick down that staircase.
Yeah, she didn't die, but that baby didn't make it. And so, it is what it is. But and then this I downloaded to get into our next bomb.com. Here's something that's super interesting. And I do have to actually read this one. So it says, well, I'll just summarize it. This is a talk about how they had to go to Joseph Smith's brother's grave and dig him up. Yeah, he wanted a bomb. There you go. They had to dig him up, and the dad was like this. The dad's like, hey, so we had to go check on our dead son that's been dead like a couple years, but the angel was like, the angel that wanted to give him these plates, they said, oh, you have to bring your brother Alvin with you next time to get these plates. Fuck out. Well, Alvin dies. Alvin dies.
Let's focus on your face. Let's open up the conversation with your face right now.
Let's do it.
And this is, again, ladies and gentlemen, we brought this up so you guys could check out the information. And if you really want to get more deep into depth and more into the breakdown, I need you guys to go check her out at Unfiltered Rise _ podcast or Unfiltered Rise podcast on all podcast platforms. And let's continue. Brother Alvin. First, I got two questions. Who the fuck is the brother, and who the fuck is Alvin? Explain that to me. What are their roles in this bitch?
Brother Alvin was the first son, which is very Masonic. I have to tell you, not only did Joseph Smith's first son die shortly after birth and have major birth defects, like visible birth defects, but also the senior son, Joseph Senior's son, his first son died as soon as he saw these angels. They require blood. This is a sacrifice. I can't
explain
prove
this.
that.
Like, okay, they were born with defects, like incest, right?
The first one, Alvin, no, he was the only one that worked, and he was the only one that was like out making money. But as soon as Joseph saw the angel, all of a sudden this dude dies, and the angel had already told him, hey, I need you to bring your brother the next time you come. Well, he can't. He died. And so of a sudden illness, and the doctor, later it was found the doctor had poisoned him. So you tell me what's going on there. I don't even know. But they said, oh, it was a medication they gave all the time and that they probably accidentally overdosed him. Okay, cool. Whatever. And so it comes time, exactly the time when the angel said to come back on the fall equinox. Nice, right? Fall equinox, when magic is high. And he's like, oh, well, I need your brother. And he's like, I don't have the brother. And so all of a sudden the dad puts a news. This is in the newspaper. This is real. And he puts in the newspaper, I'm just going to paraphrase it because I don't want to go back to the quote, but he's like, hey, everybody, I didn't dig up my son to just dig up my son. We did dig up our son to show you we didn't do anything to him because we want to prove that we didn't do anything. Okay.
There's no point.
No one asked you.
Excuse.
No one asked you why you're what? Why would you put that in the paper? He was pre-gaming. He was pre-gaming. He was like, just in case somebody sees us out there digging in the middle of the night, and then we'll be like, hey, we were checking to see if he was all right.
In case he was still dead. I just want to make sure he was still dead. And it doesn't only help that in the last episode you told me we did an episode called necromancy because you inspired that shit. We needed to get educated on it, and it turns out that you do magic not only around dead people, but for dead people, to talk to dead people, to get prophets, to get visions out, to win wars, to prophesize the future for you, and also control dead corpses.
So what does that, okay, with everything you learned last time, let me refresh your memory. Okay, so what are we doing in the temple? We're doing work for it's literally called work for the dead. We're baptizing the dead. We're doing things for the dead. And all of this energy is to do what? I believe, now this is just a belief, I believe that's to give the power to the prophet that we say knows things, because like you said, they require magic to get the prophecy. Boom.
Oh, to talk to you and give you future events. Wow.
Sorry.
This
there
was
it is.
completely dark, satanic
Yep.
necromancy. And we've talked
Yep.
about this before. Oh my Jesus. Good stuff.
And
All right. What a
and
connection.
it's to one specific God. Don't forget, not just one, but I believe one has a lot of power over the Mormons, and that is Abraxas, the chicken snake god, which I had a picture of on there, but they can look it up.
Let me ask you something. No necrophilia, right? Because I know I learned that
Well,
was also
how
different.
do we even know? How do we even know? Like what they do in there? Do you know? You don't know.
I don't know.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Underneath all of Salt Lake City is a complete grid system of tunnels that head to the temple, from the temple, and to other state buildings. You tell me what they're doing. I don't know.
Wait.
I don't know.
I do believe it. And I'm going to tell you why. I do believe it. I don't need to even look into it. I already believe it. You know why? I also find out that 80%, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I think I said 90. And I did an episode called Area 51, where I came to find out that 80% of the entire state of Nevada, listen to this, 80% of the entire state of Nevada, it's federal ground. So, and I mean, could you be used for military? Could be underground bases. Could be holding other Nephilim.
They're dumb.
It could be
They're
whatever.
dumb.
Yeah. So, and then if you
I can tell you something.
Yeah.
I can tell you, actually, I know for a fact dumbs are real, the deep underground military bases, because I take care of people that have access to that kind of information, because I take care of CIA members, NSA members, and all kinds of things. And my uncle was a high-ranking Green Beret when he retired, Airborne Special Forces. I will tell you, dumbs are real. And he has confirmed that 100%.
There are huge videos that are being brought down out of YouTube and being brought down from all social media, where there's truckers putting up these videos saying there's a huge cave and they go into a mountain and there's like a tunnel system with roads and they're delivering goods to giant bases in the middle of the mountains.
What's in there? Mountains? What's in there? Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta is a big one right by California-Nevada border and Oregon, California border, I think. And that's a big one my uncle talked about. So
huge
he's airborne, Green Beret, Special Forces, retired after 20 years.
Wow.
I'm just telling you. And he watches my show. Hi, Uncle.
Salute. Thank you for your service, sir.
He's awesome. He's awesome. He tells me things. I'm like, he won't tell me. He goes like this. Because I'm like, I don't want to get him in trouble.
And knowing you're freaking chirping his eyes.
I was camping with him. 3 weeks ago, I was like on him, and he was like, I can only tell you some stuff. So
God bless.
I was like, I know. And I said, what about on my show? And he's like, go ahead, I don't care. He's like, what are they going to do to me now? I'm like, true.
Yeah,
okay.
He's already older. He's done with he's done with the service.
He's done with it. And he was telling me all kinds of missions and stuff. Like, it's really cool to listen to, but at the same time, I know he knows. Like, these things are true. But also, I've heard it in other circles. I'm a nurse. I'm at the desk. I'm still listening to you. I'm a mom. I got mom ears. I'm listening to you.
Not just one kid. You listen to a bunch of people at the same time.
I'm like pretending I didn't hear anything. One time a guy did say, you can't say anything about that, right? And I was like, nobody believed me anyway. So I was like, Heidi, that's fine.
You also gave me a third talking point, and this is beautiful. You were right about the freaking 5 points. It was too long for you.
It's too many. Yep.
You mentioned
we got so much.
You mentioned the racism in the Mormon church and the way they do things.
Yes.
Can you show some light? Give us some light on that.
It's not good. Let me tell you what. I don't understand in my heart of hearts how any person, brown, poly, black, whatever shade of darker than white and delightsome that I am, because that's what they want. I don't understand how you're in that church. Get out. Get out. They oppress your people. They treated you bad until 1978. That's almost 1980, dude.
That just happened.
That's like a minute ago. That's like a minute ago. And they even say things like, okay, the Lord told, this is a direct quote from the second prophet of the church. Prophet receives direct revelation from God.
After necrophilia,
Yeah.
We heard the whole crowley shit.
Oh, by the way, and that guy, he wore a bloodstone and he never took it off. Yeah, that's not creepy at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so he said the Lord told Cain that he should not receive the blessings of the priesthood or his seed until the last of the posterity of Abel had received the priesthood until the redemption of the earth. You tell me what that is. You tell
Say
me
that
that's
again.
okay.
Say that again. I need to
Says,
put it into ghetto terms.
The Lord told Cain that he should not receive the blessings of the priesthood, which is everything to Mormons, or the priesthood to his seed until the last of the posterity of Abel, so Cain and Abel, the other son, had received the priesthood until the redemption of the earth, till the earth end, till the second coming, till we're judged. That's insanity to me. And then the only reason why they changed it in 1978 was because they were getting heat. They were getting heat like crazy. And then also this same guy, the same dude said that he told everyone to go purchase the native children, as many as they could afford, so that they could make them integrate into their school systems and into their world and make them, and I quote, more white and delightsome.
That's a direct
horrific
quote, white and delightsome.
White, and he is not the only one. There's another president after that was in the 70s when all that Reformation was lifted, that said, oh, our brothers have become exceedingly white and delightsome as we have preached the gospel to them. Ezra Taft Benson. I know my stuff.
Because they're brainwashed.
I know
they had brainwashed them from the inside out, and they might have been a little darker tainted in the outside, but the way they thought was aggressive, very. So
it was so bad. It was so bad. And also he said this, the curse is removed by him who placed it upon them. So God, they believe that black people are black because God cursed them, because that they were not just the Cain and Abel deal, but in heaven, they were the fence sitters in heaven when the war of the angels happened, and they didn't make a decision which side they wanted to be on. So they also were cursed from that level and the curse of Cain. And he says, so the curse can't be removed until he who placed it upon them removes it. And they must suffer. They must suffer under its consequences. And I am not authorized to remove it. I am a firm believer in slavery. You tell me why you want to follow that guy, because I wouldn't.
Wow.
And my niece is black, and I sure wouldn't tell her to do it.
This is fucking insane, dog.
This
is fucking
crazy.
Insane.
And he also had a quote, and I don't have that one pulled up, but it said, if you were to find your wife in bed with a darker man of African descent, better to put a spear through both of them than let them live. Yeah.
I gotta go and statistically look how many Mormon husbands have killed their wives.
I'm telling you.
Put it together because she got some black dick. Sorry to say that shit.
That's what happened. And guess what? It's probably because he's upset because that guy right there had 55 wives.
He's promoting violence and death.
Listen to this. He had 50, I think it was 50 wives and only 55 children. He's upset because he can't populate those women. 50 wives, you only got 55 children? That's like 1.5. That's less than one.
Wait. You got 50 wives and you only got 55. That's a lot of kids though, bro. Like, I mean, fuck.
But I'm saying that's not a lot of production. They're jealous.
Wait. How many? I'm gonna ask you this because I know you are very.
You can ask me anything.
How many kids is minimum for a Mormon wife, right?
Well, typically we have. I mean, typical is 6. I have 6
for a Mormon wife.
Yes,
6 kids?
But I'll tell you this.
Hell of a business.
I'm just saying he wasn't into too much sex if he could only have 1 kid, a wife. Let's be real.
He was shooting blanks. He needed help, dude. Come on. Yeah.
And who knows?
You're the one that's cursed.
Yeah. I'm like, he's jealous because that black man, they can make some seed. Let's be real. Like,
yeah. Well, this is their complete fault. If you know anything about races, these guys were bred to build to carry. They had we call them cementarios in Spanish. Yes. They're big bulk black dude would have sex with 15 women a day, then just have a bunch of big black stoned kids to be picking cotton and shit. I mean, they were bred for this.
My husband always says he's a weightlifter, and he always tells me, If you want to see an example of true muscle, like not roids, because he's
Yeah.
super into natural.
Mhm.
He's like, look at a black man. He's like, look
They're
at a black
toned
man.
differently. They
They have completely crazy muscle. He's like, it's not just tone. They got crazy muscles that nobody else has. He's like, they got
This is
muscles
why
that
they're better athletes
crazy.
at many different sports. You know?
Yep. And
Absolute
you know what
craziness.
else? You know what else they probably found out, and that's probably why they were mad.
Okay,
So-
I'll be honest with you. I have to break that. I have to break that chain. People always do this. Okay, it's cool. Yes, okay, it's fine. Kudos. Congratulations. BCCs. What is it? BBCs. Well, cool. I've been in jail. And
I'm a nurse. It's not.
I've
true.
seen. It's not that. It's not that. It's
true.
It's like propaganda, bros. They gotta have
It
something.
is. Right? Because I'm a nurse and I've seen more dick than probably a whore. Because I gotta put catheters in them. 20 years of pants off nursing. Come on. I've seen it all.
Out, dude. You probably have seen more ass too. Shit.
I've seen it. I used to deliver babies too, and never again.
You're a wild one, Heidi.
Damaged now. But like I'm telling you, it's not true. But the muscle thing is true. And actually, my husband also says that the Mexican guys have bigger backs and bigger shoulders. It's like abnormally larger. He's like, if you want to see a weightlifter get really big, the Latino guys, like wherever they're from, any Latino guy, they can get these big old backs. Like
it's just that they're short.
Yeah.
What's the Latino rate in Utah? Is it a complete white state?
It's big. Actually, Latino were huge, but black people not so much. They probably came here and were like, get the hell out of here, because that guy's trying to kill everybody. But
you fucked the wrong wife, dude. That's
shit. I'm like, holy cow. Yeah. But like now it's pretty integrated. But like when my sister-in-law lived here, and that was only maybe 10 years ago, and she told me, she's from Chicago, she's like, I can't live in Wonder Bread. I can't do it. I got to get out of here. This isn't good for me. She's from Chicago. She needs
some Cocoa Puffs in her life.
Yeah. She was like, this is nuts. Your brother didn't tell me this. And I was like, I'm sorry. She's like, you're cool, but I'm out of here. Like, this is crazy up in here. She's like, people live, and she wasn't like half white or light. She was black. Her dad was from Haiti. So she didn't blend, because most of the people we see in Utah are mixed. We see black, but they're not black. They're like, sort of black, like my niece.
They're like Drake Black.
Yeah.
Very
light. They're like you with different hair. That's all.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
But actually, we have a huge population of Latinos.
Wow.
And so from all different areas, like El Salvador, like my neighbors that just moved, and that I love, I call him my grandson, because he's like my white mama. I'm like, okay, whatever. And so we speak Spanish fluently, so we always end up, having friends that are close. But I would say he came from El Salvador? Yes, El Salvador. So, and then the other neighbors, I'm not sure, but it's close by. So we get a lot of people from all over. And my son loves it. My son actually he's only 15 and he's in college level Spanish, because I talked to him a lot. Yeah. I talked to him a lot when he was little.
Okay.
And
Felicidades.
I do lazy Spanish because I don't conjugate. I do like verte. Like I'm not conjugating that.
Your Spanish is like, Nintendo. Can't you see?
Yeah. And they're like, oh, why do you speak like you actually know? Because it's conversational. Ver mi luego, verte luego. Like I just shorten everything with the te and me. I don't conjugate that. And my son's like, Mom, that's so wrong. I'm like, that's how they understand. Like one time I had a lady in the hospital, and they had the person come in, the translator, and she wasn't from a schooled part of Mexico. She was an older lady. She was an abuelita, and they couldn't get to her to put in the catheter. She was smacking everybody, and I didn't blame her. But like they come to get me, they said this lady doesn't understand. So I just went down there, and the translator's there, and I'm like, just tell her. And she said something, and I didn't understand either. So I just looked at the lady and I said, hey, yo necesito ponerte catete, okay? And she goes, okay. And the lady translator was like, that's not right. I'm like, she understood.
She understood better than what you were saying. Shit.
I'm like, sorry, she doesn't know what you're talking about. She's a farm lady. She didn't go to school. She looked at me straight up and was telling me, I don't know what that white lady's saying. I'm like, it's fine. I mean, so it comes in handy. I like it. I had a boyfriend from Honduras. So
okay.
That was a language of love. He didn't understand me. I didn't understand him, but I sure figured it out.
Yeah, yeah, I bet.
Anytime
No,
with some
Heidi,
medical words. Yes.
Heidi Love, I want to thank you again. Wow. Okay, so action-packed, fun conversation with you again. Part 2 of
Always.
Mormon drops tomorrow night.
Yes.
I mean, actually, tonight, a day away from the
Awesome.
day that we drop. And I want to thank you so much for spending the time here today, making me laugh, giving me so much
Love it.
knowledge. I'm gonna pass this information. I cannot wait to go back and tell my freaking my coworkers tomorrow morning, my
They
wife,
missed
about what I
it.
learned about the Mormon.
Yeah,
Dude, I use it.
they
Believe it or
missed
not,
it.
as soon as I stop talking to you, look, guess what I learned. Text
You're
them
like,
yo,
the
we got
Mormons are
2 days.
crazy. You're
I'm
like, the
so
Mormons.
connected.
The
Yeah.
Mormons are crazy. And I got more. We're gonna go. We're gonna keep going. I'm gonna.
I
see
can't
if
wait.
what-
Set up the date and
We
but for
did.
now,
We did. We got it. Yeah. we
let the
got
people
one.
know where they can find you.
You bet. I'm at Unfiltered Rise podcast. I'm on all the socials. I'm on all the things except for Twitter. I'm not good at that yet, but I am on there.
Massive shout outs
Yeah.
to Cult of Conspiracy podcast. That's gonna have her next right after she's on
Yes,
fire, dude, rocking
right
it out.
after
So
this.
yeah. Thank you
I'm
so much for
nervous.
being here.
Yes,
And
of
God bless you.
course.
God bless your family.
bless you.
And
Thank
this
you.
is Mormon Part 2 with Heidi Love
Yes.
from Unfiltered Rise podcast. Make sure you check us out. Check her out at paranoido.com or on Instagram at Unfiltered Rise _podcast. And make sure you drop a 5-star review. This allows other people to enjoy the show as much as we enjoyed having this amazing conversation on this amazing episode. Paranoido podcast is here to stay. Absolutely free. Check us out at paranoido.com. And thank you all for tuning back in. Peace out, Heidi.
Thank you. Bye.
Paranoid Radio.